Welcome to another new week. Today is Monday, the 18th day of August 2025. Lillian, how are you this morning?
I am beautiful. How are you?
How was your weekend?
Very well.
I hope you spent. Did you go out? You didn't? I mean, and also this cold has been flying around. I hope the bug hasn't caught you too.
Almost. It's almost catching me.
I mean, everyone seems to be having a cold now. Well, there are a lot of things happening across the country. I mean, some of them don't sit right with me, particularly when it comes to our security situation.
Okay.
We're seeing this this notorious bandit leader, Tuji Bello. And reports are saying that, of course, we are hearing that the clerics, had a meeting with him and he surrendered. But then the defense headquarters is saying that is not true. I
don't know who we're supposed to believe. Is it the clerics or the defense?
Honestly.
And then they said that the so-called bandit released 32 hostages.
And those hostages, the defense headquarters saying they can't find
not even one person.
And even the arms that were surrendered as well.
Recently, the Amnesty International made a whole lot of allegations against the defense headquarters, saying that there has been a whole lot of judicial killings recently
in the southeast
that has not been recorded. About 1,844 persons that has gone missing, but the defense minister's media person has debunked it and said nothing like that happened, that is baseless, is unfounded, that there is nothing nobody can say about that is not true.
I mean, I'm just starting to wonder, because I have a lot of questions, first of all, from the Tuji Bello angle. I mean, why are we hearing two reports? Who is benefiting from these reports? And then when it comes to the Amnesty International, I'm also wondering, why is it that we have to wait for international bodies to give us figures of people that are dying in our own communities and our own security personnel are doing nothing about it?
They said they have proof, so we're waiting.
Yes,
and they wrote to the military for a reaction. There was no response from them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's quite sad and it's quite worrisome as well. But that is not, our main issue for today. Welcome to Signature Morning. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha.
Good morning, Nigeria. You're welcome to Signature Morning. I am Lillian Wali.
All right, our newspaper headlines and review will be coming up in just a moment. Do stay with us. Welcome back. We'll be starting with the Guardian newspaper. And on the headlines we have on page 6, over 10 banks, insurers risk forced merger in race for new capital.
And Serap seeks probe of pay to present motions bills claim.
Replacing Tinubu with Jonathan, not solution, but system overhaul, says Farotimi.
And that Lausa says we're bringing Nigerians out of school kids back to classroom.
Still on the Guardian newspaper, we have EFCC NIS deport 42 cyber criminals, 150 to follow.
Pensioners deserve a duty of care and prompt payment. That you're going to find on page 16 of the Guardian newspaper.
Over to the Daily Trust. By elections, parties maintain strongholds, pages 3 and 4.
Kano by-election, why we rejected Shanonon Bagwai State Assembly by-election, says APC.
Many traders fear dead in Sokoto boat mishap.
Eulogies as Emir of Zuru dies at 81.
And finally, on the Daily Trust, 109 senators pay enough for 4,708 professors' salaries.
Now let's move over to the Tribune newspaper. July 2025 inflation report. Despite gains, pressures persist, CPPE says, and that you're going to find on page 6 of the Tribune newspaper.
By elections, APC consolidates ahead of 2027 race with riders wins big in Kano, Adamawa. Soludo's Abga shows strength in Anambra. PDP wins Oyo rep seat first time in 18 years. ADC humbled in Anambra. APC, NNPP maintain rivalry in Kano. PDP in dire straits in Edo. Zamfara poll declared inconclusive. Our electoral process has deteriorated under Tinubu, ADC alleges, and results are a vote of confidence in Tinubu, our party, APC, pages 22 and 23.
Also on the Tribune, cyber criminals, EFCC immigration deport dozens of Chinese and Filipinos. Also on the Tribune, shake-up in the army, COAS redeploy top generals that you're going to find on page 4 and page 3 of the Tribune.
All right, and finally on health, we have caffeine can reduce effectiveness of certain antibiotics, study suggests.
Now moving over to Blueprint newspaper, by-elections, APC's emphatic victory in 12 states, sign of the awarded capacity, says Tinubu. Party one more seat to seal 2/3 majority in Senate. APGA increases to 2. Poll not yardstick for measuring coalition strength, says ADC, and that is on page 6 of Blueprint newspaper.
NIMET forecasts 3-day rain, thunderstorms nationwide. 21 communities hit by floods in Potiskum, says NEMA.
And on business news on Blueprint, UBA to empower female entrepreneurs, drive inclusion with 5 billion naira MSME fund, page 23.
Now to the Punch newspaper. Workers' compensation, FG backtracks as NLC holds ground. NSITF moves to avert strike, says AGF will refund workers. NLC leaders meet.
And 2 Nigerians die of suspected poisoning in Libya, page 4 and 5. And court orders full disclosure of 37 billion naira renovation by National Assembly.
Alright, and finally on the Punch newspaper, Nigeria deports 42 convicted Chinese Philippine cyber criminals, on pages 4 and 5. Well, that's the much we can take on our newspaper headlines this morning, and it's time for our review. As always, we have Chris Maduka, the Oracle, in the studio this morning. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Uche. Good morning, Lillian.
Good morning, Chris.
And good morning, the world. It's another day.
Yes.
Bright and early. We thank God for another opportunity to be alive in Nigeria with hardship and hunger and so many issues affecting our life.
Yes.
Every day counts in the life of Nigerians. And we are grateful to God.
Yes.
So let's move on.
Let's move.
From Guardian, so many things, but we quickly rush out of school kids back to school. Alausa, he said, Alausa is saying he's bringing out of school kids back to, it's wonderful. It's happening, but most of times, in Nigeria, you find some good statements hidden under political being right.
Yeah.
I remember during the Goodluck Jonathan days, we had the Amajare schools were built. There was no continuity, so bringing out of school, and we know that in the north, we have increased number of out of school children. So bringing them with the mouth, bringing them back to school with mouth it's not making any sense. It's not making sense. So we want to see the schools,
the action
back to schools.
Yes.
How many schools? And these are targeted students. You don't just go to the street to bring people and dump them into a system. There must be a special school for them.
Yes.
Where are these schools? Who are trained teachers to take care of them?
Yeah.
You don't go into the bush and probably bring children who are following sheep and cattle and all those nomadics and dump them. There must be special training and special trained teachers to handle them. Good idea. If it's a dream, let it come true, we pray.
Yes.
Pharaoh Timi says replacing Tinubu with Jonathan is not a solution. He said it's a system overhaul. Most of these activists, in the way they attack things, I do not think, it is his own opinion anyway, his own opinion. But we know that most Nigerians would prefer a massive, great shift from the routine politicians to try some new ideas and new people. Because it's still like the Igbos we say, Ofi itenasu. One pot is boiling and cooking all the ones we have had in the recent past and the ones who are showing interest in the recent future. So why not? I think what Ultimi is saying that why not let's try some new hands, new heads, see whether that will take us somewhere. No, I go with Farotimi.
Yeah.
Because if you try, one, it didn't work, try two, it didn't work, just try, probably leave off those things and go back to about number 10. Leave off following them in lines because Nigerian politicians are really, really dangerous people. You don't know who to trust. When you are doing your intro, you are saying, you don't know who to believe. For me, I don't know which Nigerian politicians to believe. So they can go ahead and, this is their time.
Yeah.
And the sitting president said is Emilio Kor.
All right, still on Nigerian politicians. On the Daily Trust, we have 109 senators' pay is enough for 4,708 professors' salaries. Wow. That is massive.
Very.
It appeared in all the news. I think as byline, and it was. We cannot pretend we didn't hear that. And the professors, who most of them are meant the returning officers to elections and they go there to rig elections, are they aware of this? So why are we bothering about them? When we were in school, I know how revered the professors are. Their words are, it's knocked on marbles. You don't talk about, when you see a professor, you better run because if you do not handle professor very well, you are in trouble. But these days, what happened? The Bible says, where your wealth is where your mind is. The mind of Nigerians elite, these are where their minds are. So education and people who are the molders of the mind to take us to where we'll be. This is not how Nigeria will go to the moon or go to the Mars. When most of the countries of the world are already building another country in other planets. We are here killing those who will take us there. I told you, most
Honestly.
of the professors, can you imagine?
Yes.
In a month, 4,708 professors' salaries are paying 109 persons. Only in distinguished Senate chambers. We have not talked about the Federal House.
Yeah.
That will tell you how can you can't tell somebody if somebody is eating his own thing, you say, look at your mouth. That's what Nigerians want. And they made their mouth that way, they were on it. Nigerians are docile. This is not Nigerians I was born into when we were growing up. Nigerians will see bad thing and they will talk about it. Who did this to us? They are asking. Nigerians did this to themselves. We went to a program and some development workers came and said, Nigerians should begin to call their. Some Nigerians do not know the phone number of their local government chairman. They don't even know their ward councillors at the local government. Not to talk about their House of Assembly. Not to talk about their Federal House reps. Not to talk about their senators. They don't even know their name. They don't know how they exist. Some of them don't know the location of their local government. All of them are running to the cities where they go and do kidnapping. And the Nigerians are not looking in to how they will solve this problem. They are creating these politicians because every climate, every country, every time and period create the kind of politician they want. This is the Nigerian politician and they're dealing with us. Only 109 persons are earning salary in a month that can pay 4,708. And when you hear some of them, when they put you in a position of professor, you are like grounded, you can't go anywhere. They cannot jackpot because those are the ones we hear talking. The ones who can jackpot have gone. So if you want, pay yourself with all the money in Nigeria, and then when you get sick, you meet them in foreign hospitals.
All right, let's move on to these by-elections. It's all over the newspapers today. We have APC, Consolidates ahead of 2027 race. Blueprint has a different headline. It says APC's emphatic victory in 12 states, sign of Yowada's capacity.
Well, I want to refuse.
Why?
When this by-election was starting, we had issues on this desk of where they said the opposition, and that even the ones that are coming up newly are battling APC and INEC. We are telling ourselves lies. They are looking for what we tell them. When we did the local government election at the states, I sat on this seat, I told them, all the governors in their parties will clean up, and they think we are making progress. So why should I blame APC at the center? When the big goat is chewing the cud, the little goats are watching. So this is what we want to do in Nigeria. The winner takes it all, and we pretend that we are running democracy. There is more. You can see it in body language. There are some things that happen. Even some people are self-censoring. Hey, the fear of hey is good wisdom, and they are rounding up, and these are all I don't know. So if you say is the power, yes, they are consolidating. Yes, they have power, and they are using the power to protect, to muffle. That's it. And they want to win it all. We say good luck to them. After the race, we will count the miles. That's it. Because nobody in the world will look at Nigeria to come and do this. This is how we want it. Greed, selfishness, I, every time. You don't look at the bigger picture and how it benefits everybody. That is why Nigerians need to sit up. When some people don't know what to say, they say they want the revolution. I'm not calling for revolution because one joke came up. He said Che Guevara, when he was doing revolution, and then the opposition wanted to take on him. He ran into the bush with all the money he made. And then a hunter saw where he was hiding, went and informed the opposition to come. And when they asked the hunter, why did you sabotage this man who was fighting for? He said the war that the man was making was frightening his sheep. That's what concerns him. So you can see why even the people of Nigeria, what is more important to them now, that poverty has been so much weaponized. They don't care. They don't even want to think about tomorrow. They only think about how can he get Bado and what they call it, and for this time and now, let the future take care of it. But we are selfish. Is this how the future we are living for these in the young Nigerians who are growing up? Of course, even in education, JAMB and WAEC have destroyed that. Politicians, so nothing is left for the future. They are living for here and now. But one day, the God of future will hunt everybody who has made sure Nigeria does not have future. This is not, if the people who handed over Nigeria to us did it to us, there won't be Nigeria today. So why in their own time they are allowing the light given to them to quench? That's what it is, out of selfishness. So let's go. So APC swept up. There's a boat mishap in Sokoto.
Yes.
And it's an aberration. Sokoto is known for dry and harsh weather and all. So when it rains there, that will tell you that this climate changes. When we begin to have boat mishap in Sokoto, maybe due to flooding and so many things, and whatever had happened there. Because what you hear there is that the dust and desert encroachment. Now we have,
yes,
it calls for attention. Out of all the people of the world and the countries talking about climate change and the implications, Nigeria is worried about 2027.
Well, Naime, just talking about, the climate change, Naime forecast 3-day rain and thunderstorms nationwide on the blueprint, and 21 communities have already been hit by floods. But NEMA is giving this report, and yes.
NEMA and NEMA, they are working and giving reports. And incidentally, there is data you can't refuse with now here. What we do with them is what has been haunting us. Because by now, if you want the NIMET and NEMA to give you data from what they've seen over time, to give you a data that can help Nigeria prevent these avoidable disasters, in the next 5 years, Nigeria will have it. But how many times have you had National Assembly with the salary they earn that compared to the
4,000?
How many have you had them discussing about how to stop this climate change effects of flood and then in Nigeria over time. How many times have you had any of them moving a bill? How many establishments are they creating? How are they involving the professors who they involve them to read the elections? They will involve them to think as eggheads to help them think about solutions. Because we have a lot of environmental experts in several universities. In fact, the university has become a problem that has to be banned. Remember, you can't establish new technical institutions in Nigeria. It's now under ban because Nigeria is overwhelmed with education. What we are not overwhelmed is corruption. So we can't ban corruption. Education is giving us a problem. Ban that. Let's run with corruption. Let's run with insecurity. All those things are. Let's run with the election rigging and vote buying. Let's run. And they will tell you stories. I read in a newspaper of somebody who was caught with 29 almost 30 million in a booth to buy. And in Nigeria, you don't believe all you see because they can tell you it's Uche. Why Uche has been put there to use it, Uche to discredit another person? Politicians in Nigeria, they are fond of knocking on the door and running around and ask, who is knocking?
All right, we're seeing FG backtracks as NLC holds ground on their strike.
Yes, because in Vanguard, their NLC strike notice.
Yes.
That organization that actually making them go, ITF
admits 50% deductions.
So what did they use the deduction for 50% to do? There are so many things in Nigeria that cannot be explained, and it's an issue. It's an issue, and only God can help us. So what nobody is explaining what they're using that to do, but we didn't hear that NLC has backtracked. Are they backtracking? They are still holding on. So if you have admitted 50%, you are justifying the strike that the NLC has. So if they have admitted that, what solution? We are not told. But I'm sure the details might be there in the newspapers. But now what baffles me is that Nigeria deport 42 convicted Chinese and
Filipinos
for cyber crime, and 150 more to follow the deportation.
Yes.
And I wonder what is working. Why couldn't they have joined all of them
at once?
Because Nigeria is we have enough trouble. So when you notice any of them, that's a good one, because I know the Chinese. I know how they want to get involved in any situation where they can find loopholes. They make their goddamn use of it. So if Nigerians see that a rat in the home goes to tell the rat in the bush, there's a fish hung over the fire. That is what the Chinese and the Filipinos has come to do. Nigerians are not going to go out of the blame. As we make our math, so shall we lie on it. So,
exactly.
Our time is up. And
there's one more. I just saw customs intercepts containers loaded with 130 million naira expired pharmaceutical drugs.
That's not new. Somebody in Nigeria, and is coming from somewhere. It's high time in a diplomatic circle we begin to look at the source where these goods are coming from. Because if you check the manufacturing date of expired drug, how long has it stayed in transit? Who exported that to us? That is another diplomatic war to fight, because somebody cannot. Look at the amount of money involved.
Yes, 130
and these things have
million
been
naira.
expired, and somebody knew that before this ship get to destination, this drug will be expired. It's only anyway. Don't blame them. They know.
And this thing is going into the market, and people are buying it and falling sick.
This one that expired because a system allows it, and it's coming from somewhere. Nobody is checking from the source. You come and start killing yourselves when you know you are common enemy. If this drug thing had come from China, for instance, you attack Chinese. Why are you sending us expired drug? Because a businessman who invested that kind of money, you trust my people, if they come into this country, they will try to start changing the expiry date.
Yes.
And we die of cancer and all these diseases of the, don't want to say the Egyptians. And we will not know
all right.
But let God help us. God bless Nigeria. God bless the people of the world. for those who desire and deserve to be blessed.
Thank you so much, Chris, for your wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of our newspaper headlines and review this morning. Coming up next, we have other conversations coming your way. Do stay with us.